What's good, my fantasy footballers? It's the real AG here, back at you with a different kind of segment this time around. As most of you know or should know, a lot of fantasy leagues out there have the trade deadline run at the end of week 11. So, with that, figured this was the absolute perfect time to drop the real AG's list of 6 prime buy low trade candidates. And number 1 on my list, I got Josh Jacobs with Green Bay. Currently RB17, but among the league leaders in both forced missed tackles and yards after contact. So do with that information what you will. Next on my list is Ramondre Stevenson with the Pats, and I get it. It's a Pats player, but Stevenson gets elite usage in the offense, getting over 20-plus touches and targets per game with a prime playoff defense matchup coming up. And then to round things out with our running backs here, I got Isaiah Pacheco with Kansas City, already back to practicing from the IR, but doubtful to play this week against Buffalo, which I think makes him a little more enticing. And, Kareem Hunt, I think, hinders the bell cow aura that was around him before the injury. So I think an easy guy to go get. And then to finally wrap things up as you consider your final trade deadline pushes here, I got 3 receivers to consider. One on my list is T. Higgins with Cincinnati, and like Pacheco, he's also dealing with an injury and doubtful to play against the Chargers, but when he plays, he gets used, averaging 9 targets a game and almost 70 yards per game. So if he's healthy in December, could be a potential difference maker for your team. And similarly to Stevenson here, I got Malik Neighbors with the Giants, and I get it, another trash offense, but that's not Malik's fault. That's Daniel Jones's fault of completing less than 60% of his passes. But the fact remains is that Neighbors gets, he's had 10 plus targets in 6 of the last 7 games. So usage is there, numbers haven't been there, such that you can probably buy pretty low. Then to round things out here, I know Coach will like this one. I got Ladd McConkey with the Chargers. He too kind of similar with Neighbors. I mean, not having the numbers these past few weeks, coming off back-to-back games with fewer than 9 points in half PPR. But he did play a tough Titans secondary, and the key fact to know is he got the same amount of targets as all the rest of the Chargers receivers combined. So, similar to Neighbors, he's getting the elite usage. So, I mean, prime buy low candidate there for you. And that's just, quick little list of 6 guys to consider as you're looking at your lineup and thinking, what final changes can I make before this deadline runs?